we are back for another episode of Manny Monday. I fucking love this term. I throw it in laundry, wear it again, throw it in laundry, wear it again. But in case you're not hip to the fact, Manny Monday opportunity for me to talk to my family, friends, and just inform them and talk about different things that I learned throughout the week, moment of epiphany, some quotables, and yeah, just some things I want to talk about, right? I usually go off a list. The list is in the description of this video, but of course, I update that list every Friday on my Instagram, which is also in the description of this video, and it should be listed right here. So I still have some time to edit it. So my Instagram is right here, and then of course Manny Mondays is on Monday, upload on YouTube. But without further ado, let's get right into it, right? So the first thing I want to talk about from my list is eating breakfast, right? I've been avoiding it for like a minute. So usually like with my work pattern and shit, it's like I get up, I wake up. Well, I'm not waking up at 5 a.m., but usually in the past, even when I woke up, I just immediately go to work, and I either don't eat anything at work, or I don't eat anything at work, or I don't eat breakfast. The only time I usually eat breakfast is during the weekend. But now I'm implementing a practice where I'm constantly eating breakfast, and I eat breakfast every day, even if it's just like having one of those pre-made like sausage biscuits or croissants, right? And I think it's important to have some type of nutrients to start off my day, but then also to maintain my weight. Because even though I started eating lunch at my job, I noticed that my weight was dropping. Like, cause I usually hover around like 190, and then somehow my weight dropped to like 175. I'm like, hold on, folks, like, what the fuck going on? Like, we don't do that. We don't drop that low. So I started eating a lot more times a day, and it really just started with breakfast. But I also had to give myself grace because I wasn't going to the gym because my tattoo needed to heal. And when I go to the gym, I have an appetite. Like I felt like I was still eating a lot even when I was eating breakfast. But now that I have that, like both of them in comparison of like, no, I have the duality of going to the gym for one, and then I also have the duality of eating breakfast. So going to the gym and eating breakfast, perfect combination, because I'm getting all the nutrients, I'm taking my protein shakes, I'm eating my breakfast, and then I come home, I have me a little something, you know. I have my meal prep when I'm at work, but when I'm at home, I either make me like a sandwich or I cook me something, you know. It's just something a little slight. But yeah, things are going good on that end. It's kind of feels more like a chore eating breakfast because I usually don't eat that early. But I'm learning that it's okay, right? The second thing that I have on my list is pull their collar, right? What does that even mean? Like to pull somebody's collar. So I think you can usually relate this to like an animal that's usually on a leash. And if they're going too far, you like, hey, like, get your ass over here, you know? Or like, Scorpion, get over here. I don't know why, when I'm thinking of Scorpion, I'm doing this, because this is Spider-Man. But I think Scorpion does the same thing. Does he not do this? No, he... Just get over here. I'm pulling you close. Get over here, right? And I think it's very important to... Like, why I'm even talking about this dog example is because I think it's very important to realize that when a person is getting outside of line or whatever, it's okay to just like pull their collar, right? But you got to be careful about like how do you do it. Like, just be able to talk to an individual from the side and be like, you know what, something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but just something ain't right. And being able to talk through it and then work through it, right? But not trying to like make a public spectacle out of it. Just recently, just interacting with someone, being able to talk with them, vet things out, and just get like to the bottom of it, and then being on the other side of it is it just feels so beautiful and so rewarding, right? But just literally just having to like pull that collar, because I'm like, you know what? This ain't right. I don't like the way this feeling. I'm gonna have to pull your collar. Let's autocorrect. Let's see what's going on. Like, why are you acting out? Why are you doing this? You know, because I know you my dog. I know you my dog. But why are you acting like this? Why are you acting like this, right? not equating the person to a dog. Please don't misconstrue that. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying sometimes if something doesn't feel right and sit right with you, and I've said this in a previous video, that we don't necessarily have to just sit with those emotions. Let that person know how you feeling, you know? Like, why do I have to feel this and sit with this emotion by myself? No, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know. I know some people have a 24-hour, 48-hour rule on like, hey, if you ain't say nothing within this timeline, let that shit go. Nah, not me, not me. Like, I'm like granted, I do get like some time may pass, whatever, but I do wait for the right moment because I'm not tone deaf. Like, I'm understanding the context in certain situations, and sometimes you're not able to like vocalize on every instance. But best believe, when I find that time, we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. I ain't gotta bust nobody out. I'm gonna be like, you know what? I didn't like the way this happened or whatever, and we're just gonna be able to just talk it out. And it's not the same as closure, but it's like, it's the understanding that I know this person and we're on such a level that I'm able to do the work, and I want to do the work with you to get an understanding of why things were this way. And so that's essentially what I mean by being able to pull that person's card, right? To be able to hold them accountable, and that's like, why are we doing this? But then also having the emotional intelligence to know to do that shit in private. You don't have to like put it on the grand stage. Like, no, we have our differences or disagreements, and then we work through that, right? The third thing. We're at the third thing on my list is surrender. So recently I had to write a paper for my jury course, and I had to give up something for 3 weeks. And in that paper, I wrote about dating and giving up dating for essentially 3 weeks. I did this experiment, or this project rather, in I want to say September. So I started around September 10th or 11th, and I did that for 3 weeks, in which I just didn't do anything as it relates to dating, and I wanted to just see how things function, and then just take away from all that. And I noticed I relied a lot on like the validation that I got from being on those apps and those interactions, and then it became something that it was like trying to force my destiny in a way. And I said this before, right? And I'm telling you, as I'm telling myself, that you can't force it. You can't force it. Even though I feel like, in my most humblest opinion, or my most biased opinion, I do feel at times that if I don't take the initiative, shit won't get done, right? And I'll add, it's been more advantageous for me to take initiative in order to get shit done, right? Like, every aspect of my life to get where I'm at currently, I had to take some initiative in order to put things in place, in order to get things done. And so now I'm at a point, especially when it comes to dating, where it can have that adverse effect because you're putting too much stress on that relationship. You're putting too much stress on making something work. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that anymore. At least in the time in which I had that mindset, which was around September, when I did this experiment. I said, like, you know what? I'm not going to try anything, right? Because I did write in my paper, I said, like, the most condescending thing you can tell a man is like, oh, if you don't do anything at all, your person will come around, right? But I don't believe you work and disagree that like men are approached at the same rate that women are. I think that's an objective fact. They're just not. No, women are not coming up to men and approaching them like that. It's just not happening. Not at the same rate that men are approaching women, regardless of like your opinion and stuff on that. But not even to go on a tangent, but it's also just like a level of acceptance of like, that is the narrative. And even though people can't really understand my lived experiences, especially when I'm trying to convey that to like other people, especially like when I think of like my female friends, like, hey, I understand what you're saying. It's valid that like, hey, if I don't do anything, that, you know, the universe will put things in place. But you also got to understand, like, me coming from the perspective of a male, and knowing that, all right, having the obligation or the feeling that has to take the obligation. Like the guy is usually the one that approaches, initiates a date, pays for the date, and do these all other things. But like now I'm at a point, or post that experiment, post that paper of I'm saying, you know what, fuck it, you know, like if it happens, oh man, great. Will I take some initiative in making some effort in making dating? Yeah, but I'm not putting so much weight on it. I'm not spending every waking moment I have trying to get something going, something meaningful going. Like if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like it's something that's more in the background, because there's a lot more things that are pressing. Like I'm trying to get my money up. I'm trying to learn Spanish. I mentioned a short film. I haven't forgot about that short film. That horror short film is coming down the pipeline. For the sake of accountability, after the airing of this video, I'm gonna try to do a monthly update on the progress of those films, right? So I have things that's going in the pipeline. I have skill sets that I'm trying to master, and I've just finished the first semester of my drug course. In relationships, although they are nice, and even though I'm taking a little initiative here and there, it does go in the back burner. I don't have to overexert myself into making it happen. And to that extent, I am surrendering. I am surrendering to the powers that be and not trying to force my destiny. Because when you try to force things, at least with relationships, this shit doesn't work. It just doesn't. It doesn't. At least for me. But I don't think I'm going wrong by telling you not to force anything, right? So that concludes this video. Yeah, this concludes this video. If you made it this far, please like, share, and subscribe, right? Hopefully I'm making eye contact. If I'm looking down a lot, it's because like the light is blinding my eyes. But again, it feels great to share space, to be able to open up on this camera, and I hope you're able to take something away with that from this video. But without further ado, jaritos on me, and take care, and I will see you next Monday.